participants, welcome back. Session 11 will be on data preparation in Tableau. Now, I would like to request our resource person, Mr. Sudharsan, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, in our last session, I looked at this drivers usage in data connectivity, right? So let me tell you, what is the reason how this data driver is working in the backend. Okay, we have told these are the different set of drivers that are being used to connect with the respective database. What is this drivers are actually doing at the backend? This drivers are basically required for these four things, application server, backgrounder, data server, and the SQL server. This SQL server is the kind of SQL language which has been implemented by this Tableau product team in order to in order to query the data at a better, faster rate when compared to SQL queries. So,
sir, I think you didn't share your screen, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Sir.
Okay. So can you see now the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, fine. This database drivers are actually basically required to do all this four handshake process, like handshake in the sense like integrating process with this application server where the data is running. Then this background is meant for handling the things at the backends of the server process, monitoring the health status of the server. Then what are the processes that are running in the backends? Say for example, collecting the data. Then what else they are then whatever the process that are running at the backend, those things and all, handshake should be given through this database driver. Then this data server is this actually holds the information about the data source, data source host name and those things and all. Then SQL server, this SQL is a kind of SQL language that has been developed by this Tableau product team. This language is actually used to query the data from the data source or the database, whatever it may be. It is a separate language, it's been developed by they themselves. Okay. Okay. So here now we are going to look into how to connect with the different databases. So far I have used only two databases, Oracle and PostgreSQL from my in my office, and MongoDB out of my own interest I learned it. So that is why I got information about this BA connector and those things and all. If you want to connect with Oracle database, similar to connecting with any other third-party softwares or something like that, we'll be having a UI portal where we need to enter the server, where you need to give the IP address where the database is running, then the service name followed by the port number. And while authenticating, we can go via two types of authentication. One is through integrated authentication, and another one is specifying the username and password. If the person is working in the same network, then they will go via this integrated authentication. If you ask me what's integrated authentication, TSM authentication. Okay, TSM authentication is nothing but a Tableau server. Tableau service management. What is the meaning for this TSM means? Say for example, in your mission, you can go to the task manager, and there you can see the process and those things and all, services. Okay, fine. So this is what a process in your mission. Similarly, Tableau server will also has its own mission. Its own what to say, a process, set of process, and via those process will be allowing the person to connect with the database and they can work. How will they do that? We can do it via 5 options. One is like Kerberos, and another one is like a list or mutual SSL. Then comes OpenID, SAML, and Site SAML. These are all the different ways of logging into. Hello, fine. So these are the different ways of connecting with data source. Okay, so okay, Kerberos is nothing but giving access from the operating systems. Then comes mutual SSL. Mutual SSL is like connecting with the Active Directory. Active Directory is nothing but a set of users' information. So, like whenever a person joins a company, we'll be getting information we'll be creating his own username, credentials, and we'll be storing them in a directory, which is called the Active Directory. From software perspective, we used to call it as LDAP, lower lightweight directory access protocol. And using this LDAP, will be integrating with this using this LDAP, will be syncing with we'll be syncing this Tableau server with this LDAP. For that, we will be using with the TSM commands. TSM commands. What is meant by TSM commands? Tableau Service Manager. Actually, I can show you an example, like how to log in into a Tableau server, those things and all. TSM Login. These are all different set of commands that can be used while working in Tableau server. So TSM Login, global options. Global options is like in whichever server you're going to log in. For example, if you're logging via the initial node is nothing but the Tableau server. The first form of the Tableau server. Tableau server can be of a single machine or it can be of a distributed system. If you're going to use it as a single machine, then you'll be having only one machine where the Tableau server is running, and all the process will be running in that one machine. And in case if you're going towards a Tableau, a distributed system, then we'll be having a number of machines. Those machines will be configured from this Tableau server. There are two ways. Okay, fine. I'll tell you one by one. TSM login, where you need to enter the server name. This is what this is server name. We'll be getting each and every host name for each and every Tableau server, and then we need to enter the other credential details like okay, fine. So now then comes the username credential. Username for that server. We need to enter with it should, whenever you are entering the username and server name or the site name, whatever it may be, you have a specific notation for that, which is like a -u, double hyphen username. Similarly, -s or a double hyphen s. Double hyphen server for the server name. Then comes the password. These things and all, like this is how we need to enter. Let me tell you. TSM login -s server name followed by -t site name followed by -u username -p password. So like this is how we need to log in into this server. After logging into this server, we can create. This is like this thing should be done in Windows command prompt. This after logging into the server, we can do like whatever the things we need to do, like taking a backup of the Tableau server. Entire site. These are all the things which we can do. TSM configuration is actually done for as I told, we'll be having a distributed Tableau system. In that distributed Tableau system, we'll be giving each and every process assigned for each and every machine. This is actually to enhance the speed of the Tableau processing. Say, for example, what are the different processing, as I told, like backgrounding, then custom controller, then a data controller, data access. We have a number of processes like that, as we are seeing here. These are all the different processes running in my local machine. Similarly, there are set of processes running in Tableau server machine, and this Tableau server machine processes can be configured via this command. And then comes TSM email. Like if you want to get the scheduled report of that Tableau chart, then we need to configure that information here, and we can check whether this SMTP connection is working fine or not. Then the login logout maintenance is majorly for taking backup and those things. TSM pending changes, after doing all these changes like configurations and those things and all, then we need to either like this is actually confirmation state, like whether we in order to apply the change or TSM pending changes, apply or discard. This is like whether to save the changes or cancel the changes. Then comes this. This has register information. Register information in the sense like TSM register information is to store the information, like whenever we install the Tableau server in a machine, we'll be getting some set of information. Which we used to call it as a registration information. If you want to get those information, you can go with to this TSM register. Then TSM restart. Restart is to restart the server. Then TSM sites. This TSM site, before that I need to tell you like what is site. Site is nothing but the place where the dashboard is going to be visible in the server. Then comes the information about the users who are privileged to see that sites. Then like what are the assets that are involved in the dashboard, like data source, users, and all those informations, Tableau worksheet, and we can get all those informations. The site actually contains informations like data source, user management, then workbook, Tableau-Data extracts, etc. So we'll be having all this information together, and we used to call it as a site. Okay, fine. We can get the list of sites that are available in that server using this command. Then TSM status, like what is the status of this process server. Like mostly it will be like 4 states. One is like running state, another one is error state, another one is a degraded state, other one is stopped state. Then TSM topology, and this TSM topology is actually for like connecting with the n number of machines. Like this gives you information about how many number of machines that are connected together in this Tableau distributed environment. Okay, TSM file path. This information, this gives you information about like where is the exact file location. Exact location where the respective Tableau files are stored. Say for example, if you want to take a backup of any Tableau data from any site, then where it will actually stores those information and all will be given under this TSM file path. Mostly these things and all will be required for a Tableau admin who admins the information about those sites, those things and all. Then these are all the major things which you need to know. And one more thing is like this is actually with respect to command prompt. In case if you want to work in this thing, say for example, if you want to work in TSM web interface. see. Okay, this is actually nothing but the Tableau service maintenance web interface. I told right, like we'll be giving all those things via command prompt. Here, instead of command prompt, we can go via this UI. This is actually much better and comfortable for a less technical person. Like if the person is not a full-fledged Tableau admin, they can go via this thing. This is a similar kind of a byproduct that has been developed by Tableau, and you can go through. Okay, fine. So like once you get access to Tableau, your own dedicated Tableau server, then you need to enter your local host and those things and all, and then you need to follow by this portal number, and you need to enter into that TSM login. Okay. Similarly, you'll be getting a username and password portal where you need to enter, and as soon as you enter, you will get this information. You'll get this page where you can get it. Okay, so here you can see all those things like what are the information about the status, maintenance, and configuration. While in configuration, whatever the configurations which we are doing using this TSM configure command, all those things we can do here, like SMTP details, configuration, cache servers, and all those things. Here, like how many nodes, whatever we want to create, you can create. And if it is like this, then it is active. If it is like this, then it is busy, and those things. I mean, we can do all the server managements via. We have two options, like one is via this web interface, and another one is via command prompt. Okay, so this integration, integrated authentication should be done via. Should be done through admin server. Okay, this MongoDB DB BA connector is like this is to connect with the view kind of thing, which I told, like developed by MongoDB team themselves. And if you want to enter the SSL, password, then you need to check this SSL password, checkbox, and then you need to enter those information. Okay, so okay, so now let us go into role-based DB accessibility. Like usually Tableau will give you 5 kinds of five is like active five active role, and one is like inactive role. Like what are those 5 active roles? Means server administrator, site administrator, creates site creator, site explorer, viewer. And inactive status is unlicensed. Like in server administrator, how you can connect with the Tableau server. Be a server administrator is like they handles each and every information about the server. As I told, like so far we have been seeing like what are the process that can be done by a server. All those things will be done by a server administrator. and he's like a universal hero, like kind of thing. Say for example, he can handle each and every any task whatever he wants to do with respect to server. Like site administrator, site administrator is less privileged when compared to server administrator. Like he will be handling the data stuffs only with respect to the particular site. Say for example, a server might be having n number of sites, like a n number of project sites is nothing but a kind of project. We can deploy like maybe some 10 to 15 or maybe even 100 depending upon the project's file size and those things and the processing capability and those things and all. Like so for each and every project there will be a separate administrator who will be responsible for providing access for each and every sites, and who will be responsible for migrating the data source from one data source to another, from one version to another. Say for example, the client data might be migrating from one database to another. Say for example, if earlier they would have used Oracle 10G, later they would have migrated to Oracle 11G, and now some people are using Oracle 12G, I mean 12C. In that case, we need to give those server information, service name, port, and those things and all. For each and every project, it may vary. In that case, those activities should be performed by the site administrator. Then site creator. The site creator, like is next cadre in terms of privilege. Like he'll be having access only to create dashboards and utilize the data source. He or she will not be able to change the access provisioning and those things and all. And then site explorer. Site explorer is a next state, like where you can he or she can get the data, like they can use the filters and those things and all. Instead they will not be able to change the data, like they will not be able to change the data source informations. Then create explorer. Okay, then comes viewer. Viewer is nothing but they are none other than like they can just view the data. Say for example, it is like a poster kind of information. They will not be able to update any data in that dashboards which you are going to present them. They can, at most, only thing which they can do is like they can move adjust some filters to view the data. Then unlicensed. Unlicensed is the last. Why I'm calling it as inactive means, like if any person moves out of a company, then his credential will be made as unlicensed. The purpose why we are making it as unlicensed means, then this data will be used to only by, this data can be used only by this admin people, and unless until they assign this sites, this credential to other person, they will not be able to work on it. Then comes like this the reason why we are making it as unlicensed is like if you are active user, then you need to pay amount to that Tableau company. If you are hosting it as Tableau cloud. If not, then okay, fine. Just in order to reduction of this cost cutting, we are going to this unlicensed feature, where you can give this user privilege means, like you need to enter into this server, and then you need to go to your respective site where this entire project is being deployed, and there you need to go to this users, and then you need to select the users. After selecting this users in the checklist, then you need to go to action, then you have to assign their respective role. The another way of assigning this role is like you can enter instead of giving adding these users individually, you can just enter all those information in a Excel sheet, and you can upload via this Excel. For that, you need to go via this tab CMD. Tab CMD is nothing but add users to the server. See, this is how we need to add the users. In case if you are having an Active Directory, as I told, then you can just do a synchronization. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me write the command itself. Tab cmd create users. This should be followed by file name. This file name should be of a CSV format. That's a standard format that Tableau expects from the server admin. Maybe file.csv -f. Okay, this is like to create the user into the server, and if you want to provide access to a set of people in for a particular site, then it should be like a cmd add users f file.csv -t site name. So like this will add users to this particular site, like who are the people available in this file. Let's CSV. Okay, so this is another way of provisioning access to this thing. I mean to say like to the users. Okay, so now let us see like what are the files that are available in the backend. So when you might be working in the front end, like you might not know what is actually happening in the backend. So whenever you create a worksheet, similarly we'll be getting generate of these 5 files like twb or twbx, like how we are going to save the data in the Tableau. If you are going to save it as a twb format, Tableau workbook or Tableau workbook package. What is the difference between this Tableau workbook and Tableau workbook packages? Like in Tableau workbook, you'll be having only Tableau workbook details. You will not be having information about the data source which are actually connected with the Tableau, those things and all. While in package, you'll be having information about the data source and user management. I mean, user management in the sense like who are all available. I mean, who are all been granted access to use this Tableau worksheet and those things and all. Then Tableau data extract. In Tableau data extract, you'll be having information about that extracted data. Like whenever you are publishing your dashboard, then at that point you will be getting a Tableau data extractor. Like what is the actual extract data that is being that was there, like at this point of time when the dashboard is being deployed. The reason why do we have the where do we use this Tableau data extractors? Like if we have, I mean, say for example, if the client is finding any difficulties or find if the client found something wrong with our data, then in that case, like what is the actual data which was there at the particular point of time, like when the data is being entered into the dashboard, they might ask us or they might question us, like this data which you have entered into the dashboard is not valid. Please give us the extract which you have got while entering while publishing the data into the dashboard. At the time we need to give this is the data which we got from this database server, and which we have processed, and we have published this data into the dashboard. So this is the data copy of that we need to show them, and then they will cross check on that. Okay, then Tableau bookmark is actually not so necessary. Then Tableau data source which actually has one information about the different types of data source that is being integrated with Tableau. Then Tableau data source package, this actually has a collect information, data source information. Then it also has information about the data source key details, like registration details and those things and all. Okay, so now let us see like what are the different ways of create what I mean what is the process of creating a Tableau distributed network. Initially, for each and every project or each and every technology, each and every software, there will be one single machine which is nothing but a standalone machine where we'll be processing. Now based on the load that is being handled, based on the time that is being restricted, we'll be going for a distributed machine. And for distributed machine, we can go via, similarly, Tableau is also having an opportunity to go as a distributed system. How do we go for a distributed machine? Okay. So the procedure is like after installing Tableau server in one machine, then we need to download this bootstrap file, Tableau bootstrap file. After that, we need to take the original installer copy, which we used to install the Tableau server in our local machine. We need to copy them together, and we need to put the files in the next machine, like wherever we want to install the file. We need to create another node, and this process is like, I'll show you the procedure. Okay, fine. I'll tell you. Like, after copying all those both the files together, we need to enter. We need to save them in all the machines, whichever you want to create as a node for this distributed network. Then it's simple, like a double click kind of thing. After installing, we need to configure the details. For that, we need to go via either TSM web UI portal, or else you need to go via this sorry, command prompt itself, like where you need to configure the details, like how what are the processes should run in whichever the machine or whichever the nodes. Then what is the timeout limit? For example, if you're giving any query, if you're running any query in a Tableau server, then basically by default it waits for like 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds, it is expected to give the data. In case if it is not able to give the data, then we need to reconfigure the time limit, because the data source might have lots of information. In that case, we need to reconfigure the time limit. uh, Actually, the reason why we need to go for this timeout options is like, in case if it is your local machine, then you need not go for this time limit, because since server is running in HTTP, it is supposed to return the output within a particular time, else it will go for like a service not found error or 400 error, whatever it may be. Some kind of errors might occur in that case. Then we need to reconfigure the data so that the HTTP will get compatible with this reconfigured data. While configuring such node, we need to give informations like the credentials of the server. The say for example, TSM topology initially has a initial node. Initial node is the first node, or zeroth node. First node where server is installed. Okay, now if for due to heavy load, I'm going to add another node. In that case, I need to how to node steps. One, generate generate the bootstrap file from the first node to copy the server installer file. 3. Place them in the additional nodes or new machines which are to be deployed in the distributed Tableau server environment. Okay, then it is a simple double click. After doing this, we need to configure using TSM configure commands. Okay, in configure commands, we need to give informations like license key followed by registration details, etc. After doing all these things, we need to go for this TSM pending changes apply TSM restart. Before this, like we need to take a backup for in case if the process has gone wrong somewhere, like for that TSM maintenance backup -f, the place wherever you want to take a backup location, file location. Okay, then TSM login. This TSM restart is for a server restart. Okay, so this is the procedure for creating additional nodes in Tableau server environment. Then, okay, and one more thing, while connecting to a database, I told, right, we need to install the database driver. If you are creating multiple nodes in a server, then you need to install the driver in all the databases. Like say for example, if you are having 5 machines in a Tableau distributed network, then you need to install the database driver in all the 5 networks. In all the 5 machines in that distributed network, because we need to make a handshake for each and every server with respect to its data source. So we need to install all those drivers. Then data preparation I'll take in the next session. So far, is there any doubt for anyone? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. We'll start with the question session. Participant, do you have any question? If you have any query, you can unmute yourself and ask. So one question I've asked from a participant: how many nodes can we create? So
That depends upon the load, ma'am. Like if you're having enormous amount of data sources, then accordingly you need to create. Few people might be having more querying kind of thing. Instead of more than the visualization partly might be less for them. But for that, querying process might be large. In that case, you need to have more nodes.
Okay, sir. Participant, do you have any more question?
Simply you can connect with any number of nodes. There is no limitations for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the most inspiring and interesting session, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to express our sincere thanks, Mr. Sudharsan, for giving an excellent presentation on data preparation, covering the transforming the data structure like rows and columns, and cleaning up things like data types and values. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.